We've just have some breaking news that's just coming into us, which is that Prince Andrew has reached a financial settlement with Virginia Giuffre. And this is what court documents have just revealed. This is a report that we're just hearing coming in for us now. Let's go straight to Rhiannon Mills, who's our royal correspondent, who can give us more details on that. Rhiannon.
Well, these documents have literally just been filed on the court system in the last few moments. I will read to you what the letter says, which has been written to the judge, Lewis Kaplan, by David Boys, who is Virginia Giuffre's lawyer, and in essence sets out that a settlement has been reached between Virginia Giuffre and Prince Andrew. So the letter says Virginia Giuffre and Prince Andrew have reached an out-of-court settlement. It goes on to say the parties will file a stipulated dismissal upon Miss Giuffre's receipt of the settlement, the sum of which is not being disclosed. Prince Andrew intends to make a substantial donation to Miss Giuffre's charity in support of victims' rights. It then goes on to say that Prince Andrew has never intended to malign Miss Giuffre's character, and he accepts that she has suffered both as an established victim of abuse and as a result of unfair public attacks. It's known that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked countless young girls over many years. Prince Andrew regrets his association with Epstein and commends the bravery of Miss Giuffre and other survivors in standing up for themselves and others. He pledges to demonstrate his regret for his association with Epstein by supporting the fight against the evils of sex trafficking and by supporting its victims. Now, it has to be said that this settlement has come out of the blue. In recent weeks and months, we have simply seen ongoing brinkmanship between the two sides, between Virginia Giuffre's lawyers and also Prince Andrew's legal team. And certainly in recent weeks, it did appear that this case was heading to trial, and we know that the judge had already put that potential trial date in the diary, and that was potentially going to happen between September and December this year. But now, as we're hearing, a settlement has been reached. I think it is worth reminding ourselves exactly what this case is about, and it has rumbled on for so many years. The first time I remember reporting on it was all the way back in 2015, and it's revolved around the fact that Virginia Giuffre has claimed over the years that on 3 separate occasions she was sexually assaulted by the Duke of York. These are claims that he has always vehemently denied, but Virginia Giuffre has insisted that they did happen and that they happened as a result of Jeffrey Epstein trafficking her, as she says he did, to a number of different individuals. But Prince Andrew, right from 2015, has consistently denied these allegations against him. This was always something that's continued to hang over him and the royal family for so many years now, and yet we're hearing in this latest court document that Virginia Giuffre and Prince Andrew have now reached an out-of-court settlement.
And has this come as a surprise, though? Because, of course, what we understood was that Prince Andrew was going to give evidence under oath. And so this news, then, has that come as a surprise at all?
It certainly has come as a surprise because of the considerable brinkmanship that we've seen between the two sides. Certainly, ever since the hearings began, it was back in the summer last year that Virginia Giuffre filed this civil case against Prince Andrew, and then the court hearings really started around December and have continued into January and February this year. And in those documents that we've seen filed online and through those court hearings, consistently, Prince Andrew and his legal team have, in essence, said that Virginia Giuffre's claims are false and without foundation. They also, of course, tried to put forward this argument that actually she was not able to sue other individuals because she'd already done that with Jeffrey Epstein back in 2009, and the settlement that was reached with Jeffrey Epstein actually meant that she was unable to take legal action against any other individuals. So they were fighting very hard from Prince Andrew's team to try and get this case thrown out. But of course, the judge said, no, Virginia Giuffre is able to proceed with this case. And that's why we've been hearing over recent weeks about the fact that Prince Andrew was set to give a deposition, so give his own witness statement on the 10th of March. So that was literally only weeks away. And also how Virginia Giuffre was also going to tell her side of the story. Also, they were naming other individuals that they wanted to call as witnesses. But now I think it is worth, for those who are just hearing this story now, it's worth reiterating that an out-of-court settlement has now been reached between Virginia Giuffre, the woman who claims that when she was just 17 years old, she was sexually assaulted by Prince Andrew on 3 separate occasions, claims that he has always denied. Also, the letter that's been submitted to the judge says that the sum that's kind of part of this settlement is not going to be disclosed, but it also goes on to say that Prince Andrew intends to make a substantial donation to Miss Giuffre's charity in support of victims' rights. Also, interestingly, it says Prince Andrew regrets his association with Epstein. And if you remember all the way back to that Newsnight interview in 2019, that was one thing that he didn't say. He did not say that he regretted that friendship. He talked about how important that relationship had been when it came to his business work. But I think many people were shocked at the time to hear that he wouldn't say he regretted his relationship, his association with a convicted sex offender. So in this letter, saying that Prince Andrew regrets his association with Epstein, and also that he pledges to demonstrate his regret for his association with Epstein by now supporting the fight against the evils of sex trafficking.